This is Tasker's new main screen. It's still in development, but this is a blueprint of what's to come, and hopefully it'll be much simpler and easier to understand than the current UI. Let's check it out. So the main idea is you have a screen with items that you can scroll through, and then you can filter by whatever factors you want. So for example, I can show only tasks, and you can see all the tasks here. I can show only profiles, or I can show both, and even scenes, for example, and I can see a list of everything. Now you may be wondering, it's not very handy to see a list of just everything like this. So that's why I introduced a new concept called tags. You remember projects in regular Tasker, where you had these little tabs down here that you can organize your profiles and tasks in? Well, now there's an upgraded version of that, which are tags. If you go into tags here, you can see all the tags that I already have. If I'll select a tag, this list is filtered by only the items that have that tag. This is much like projects where you organize them, like for example in the home tag, but there's the advantage of tags that each item can have multiple tags at the same time. So for example, now I'm filtering by the home tag, but if I press the lights tag, I can see items that have both the home and the lights tag. So for example, if I remove the home tag, if I remove both tags, I can see, for example, if I have the kitchen or the lights or the night, all of them are included, also have the home tag. So if I want to see everything in my home, I just do this. But if I want to go down specifically to some other part of this project, I can do home and night, and it also only shows the items that have both of those tags. I could also show projects that have, for example, two different tags. If I remove home night here, and for example do gym, and instead of match all, so now it's showing 0 items because there's no item that has both the home and the gym tag. If I change this to match any, now it shows me both home and the gym items. So this way, you're not limited to organizing your profiles and tasks in a simple project, because sometimes tasks and profiles belong in multiple places. So imagine you want to have a media tag where you know that you want to play like music or podcasts. Let's try it out right now. So there's a play workout music task here. Let's create a task called media. And now this one, it has the media tag. I know there's another task here. Let me just clear the filter there. Play morning podcasts. Now I can give this the media tag as well. So now I have both of these tasks in the media. So I can now very easily find related items that are not necessarily in the same project, because previously you would either put them in the morning project or in the media project, and now they can be in both. You may notice that after I do some changes, I have this new bar down here where I can discard or apply the recent changes. So I have 3 pending changes. I can just apply them and they're saved. So these are the tags, the new way to organize your items. I already showed you the type one. Oh, and also there's a new one here called recent changes. That allows you to see all of the videos, the latest videos of features that I posted about Tasker on YouTube, and they are surfaced now here, so you can easily access them. In the future, if I clear the filters, right now you'll see this video, but in the future when you play this video, it'll go away from the main list and only show if you specifically select recent changes here. Okay, so there's also these other filters, status, for example, active. There's nothing active right now, but these are active profiles and tasks. Inactive, failed lately, and disabled. I can show you a disabled one, for example. If I do this and filter by disabled, only disabled profiles will show up. You can filter by last run, so I can see items that last ran in the last 24 hours or 7 days, and so on, and also last modified. For example, all of these items have been modified today, so all of them appear under last 24 hours. Cool. So these are the ways you can filter the list, so you can drill down and see exactly what you're working on. But how do you create new stuff? Well, there's this handy button here called New, and it's dramatically simplified. Right now, so you can create a scene, which is a screen, or you can create an automation. So I realized that you have profiles and tasks, right? But a profile is simply a task with some context added in. So now you can create an automation, which creates a task. Let's create a task just to try it out. Just show a flash of hello. And here you have a task. And when you have that task, you can now optionally add triggers to it. So if you just save it like this, a simple hello, you can see that it shows it a task called a simple hello. But if you create an automation, then add a task, let's add this existing one, you can now add a trigger to it. For example, let's say I want to show this when my display is on. Oh, and by the way, I haven't designed the new UI for selecting event context or profile context. So this is why I'm still using the old UI here, but this will all be new eventually. So now I've added the states, display state on, and you can see that you can now add an exit task, and this will all become a profile when I save it. So save this, you have the profile here. Oh, I can even name it. So when display on, say hello. Where did it go? Oh, and by the way, you can sort it by different factors. So now, because I started with the net W and to the end of the list because it's sorted by name, but I can sort by modified, and now it's here. So every time I change something, it always appears on the top of the list, so it's easy to find what you changed. So if I apply this, it says hello, and the profile is now active, and the task ran. So you can see how it's very easy to create a profile based on a task and add an exit task, and it all becomes super clear exactly what you're doing. Previously, it was a bit confusing. You had to be on the Tasks tab to create a task or on the Profiles tab to create a profile, and you had to know what each of those terms meant. But now it's very guided, and you can very easily see what you're doing here. I can also add an exit task, so I could make it say goodbye. And you can see that it shows this. So about tasks running, you see that it shows the action that it's running at any given time. and the button here transforms into a stop button with this little halo animation saying that it's running. If I edit this and then, for example, wait 3 seconds and then add another flash action that says goodbye. And now if I run this, it's in the flash action, then it goes to the wait action for 3 seconds, and then it goes to another flash action, and then the task stops. So now you can very easily monitor which tasks are active. I can apply this, and just so you can see how the status works with active tasks, let's combine this simple hello with another automation, a simple hello with a trigger, event, tick, and trigger it every 10 seconds. And you can see that there's an event here now in the triggers, and there's no longer an exit task. And why? Because an exit task doesn't make sense when there's an event. Because an event doesn't have a state, so there's not a way to exit that state, so there's not even an exit task at all. So now this task will trigger every 10 seconds. And let me apply this. So now after 10 seconds, the task starts to run. And if I filter by active, I have this old profile that I created before. But after 10 seconds, the task starts running. Then it waits, and then it says goodbye. And then it goes away. So now it's very easy to monitor what exactly is happening in your Tasker setup by simply looking at this screen. By the way, I already showed you this, but you can sort by name, created, modified, last run, and also you can change from descending to ascending if you want. And you notice that when I change it to last run, it goes on top here instead of the bottom because this has run more recently than this profile has triggered. You also can condense the layout. So I know some people like to not have this take all of this space. So you can make it look like this. And a lot of profiles and tasks fit on the same screen. You also have scenes. Let's filter by scenes. So scenes, it can be shown directly here with the play button. Let's show this scene, for example. This is just an example scene that I cooked up. And yeah, so you can also control your scenes from here or add tags to them, organize them. In the future, you'll be able to rename them as well. But yeah, this is what you have now. And finally, I wanted to show you the settings screen. And this, again, this is a work in progress. Oh, by the way, let me disable this this profile here, so it's not always showing. Where is it? Here. So it's not always showing those flashes. So this is a work in progress, so that's why this is all empty now. But if you go to settings here, you can see the new settings screen. The new settings screen is designed to be, again, much simpler and easier to look at and easier to navigate and understand. So now you have this clean list of items. And if you go in each one, you have a list of settings that look just like the Android settings you'd find on the system screens. You have switches, these sliders here, and there are a few screens that, for example, the reliable alarms was previously just a drop down, and now it's a full screen where you can see exactly what this setting does. You can disable or enable reliable alarms, and then you can set it to always or screen off, where previously you had just a drop down with 3 options. Now it's much clearer what each does. Under theme and UI, you can select the language, and this is also cool because now with when you select the language, for example, this Portuguese from Portugal one that I just added, the language changes right away. You don't have to restart the app, go back, go in again. It simply just changes everything to the new language right away. Everything is translated. So let's put this back to English. You have these kinds of organization. So, for example, you have screens where you can set the option with a little explanation so you know exactly what it's doing. You have display on monitoring, display off monitoring, and you have this new kind of setting here, which is a simple switch that you can go into and read more about it. But if you know what it does, you can simply switch it here or switch it here. It does the same thing. But it's a way to let you know what each option does without cluttering up the UI for you. You have notifications. You can set the shortcut actions. Sorry. In this example, the shortcut tasks only show up if this option is enabled. You have quick setting tasks, the same thing. There's this keep accessibility running that changes, this list changes depending on what your device has at the moment. So these are all my accessibility services that you can change depending on what you have. So this is fully dynamic. You can see that it's fully dynamic based on what you have on your device. Have the Shizuku option that only shows up if Shizuku is installed on your device. Security, data and backup. And I know there are many options still missing, but this is like a proof of concept that shows the various types of controls that settings may have. And I just wanted to create the basic ones so I have a good base to work on. So yeah, this is the new main screen. You always have this button here to go back to the old screen if you want to. It looks like this if you don't remember it. But the main new screen is designed to keep it simple, but at the same time allow you to do everything you can on the old screen. Right now it doesn't have everything the old screen has, but I'm working on it, and I hope I can get there someday and make it as good as it can be. So I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.